Emily, come on, Emily. Kat, Barrell, Dominique, Tim Rozon, and of course we've got Shamier. It's a real low energy day today.
We'll pay you later.
Yeah.
It's a big ass panel.
This is the heaviest. Emily, you look so strong. I'm like, oh shit.
Well, I did just do a writing workshop.
Who went to Emily's writing workshop? Was it amazing? Oh my god, I'm spilling it.
We had some tech issues, but it was all good. It was all good.
Thank you.
You're very cool. Ooh, we might be on DC TV right now.
DragonCon
Oh yeah, you can watch that in your hotel. If you miss something, you can just put on your pajamas.
Yeah. It's not just in your hotel, we're actually streaming across the globe.
Oh my god.
So you might be having an audience, who the hell knows where. Thank you.
Can reach you all. Yeah.
Excellent.
Perfect.
So Emily, don't swear much.
No, we'll leave the swearing till when Mel gets here tomorrow.
Let's save it, savor it.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, we're going to get started, so if you want to go ahead and start getting your questions, please go ahead and start lining up. And we'll kind of get things started here with, I'm a recent Earper myself. I just sat down, they're like, hey, there's this crazy cast of people coming. Are you interested? And I'm like, yes. I can't say the word that I want to use and did use in that context. One of the things that I absolutely loved and watching you guys as an ensemble is, holy crap, you guys have fun. You have some of the most fun jobs on the planet. Just even interacting with this is crazy. Is this just a giant big family or what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really call it work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh, what are you going to do today? I'm going to put some plaque contacts in, get a hand chopped off. Like, it's not work. It's just the most fun thing ever.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Excellent. Well, let's go ahead. I think we have some people ready. Let's dive on in because there's a lot of you and there's a lot of them and the odds are against us. So come on in.
Hey guys. Hi. So I have a question about one of my favorite things about this season, Purgatory Case Files.
Oh.
So I thought it was such a great idea to have this platform where it could keep the fans engaged between episodes, and it gave us this rich Black Badge Division backstory that was taking so much time in that episode. And it also gave us this cool thing that gave us a relationship development between Nicole and Waverly, which in general we're often relegated to just assume it happened off screen. So that was really cool to see. So I have two questions, one for Emily and one for Kat. So Emily, how far into the season did the idea of Purgatory Case Files came about?
Right.
And how did you manage to fit that in as much as you could into the episodes? And Kat, in the beginning of the season, you were kept out of Black Badge. But with Purgatory Case Files, you were the one who found the greatest secret of them all, that, spoiler alert, Wyatt Earp co-founded Black Badge with Ted Roosevelt. So how did it feel?
Last one again? Sorry.
What?
No, really. Can you say the last part again?
So you were kept out of Black Badge, and yet through Purgatory Case Files, Nicole was the one who found that Wyatt Earp founded Black Badge with Ted Roosevelt, which no one knew in the show so far. So how did it feel to have that revelation, have it kind of come full circle?
Oh,
I'm glad you're going first.
okay, good. Just say it felt good. So, when did it come about? It came about pretty late in the season. I would say when I was writing the finale and I was at ClaxicCon, they're like, here's one more thing you have to do. I'm like, oh my God. which worked really well then because we could kind of reverse engineer it. Because we knew what happened in every episode, we could kind of tailor the case in Purgatory Case Files, which you guys should all see because it's remarkable work. And I didn't do any of the work. I want to say Digital Howard did it, and then a lovely young writer named Kristen Hanley wrote the whole entirety of all the stuff between Nicole and Waverly and whatnot. But it was fun. We really needed to make sure that emotionally both the characters were in the same spot in the case files as they were during the episodes. But I was so impressed with how deep the fandom went down on it and examined it that I think we should do it again. You guys are way too smart. So I just think we should keep doing it. And as usual, I often find this about the show, but I found people's theories about the Purgatory Case Files were so interesting and well thought out that there were lots of times I was like, damn, we should have done that. So I'm so glad you enjoyed it. I feel like I've said this so many times, but I'm going to say it again. I feel like this fandom is like nothing I've ever seen. It's so warm and so involved. It's so good looking and so smart and witty with excellent taste and actors. But I really feel like it was a thank you, and I think that just speaks to the kind of show we want to be, that we wanted to give a gift to the fans for the off season, and we wanted to do that. So thank you so much for participating, and I hope we can do it again. Yeah. Thank you. How did you feel about the revelation that you found the biggest reveal of all, which is that you co-founded Black Badge?
How did I feel about it?
How did you feel about being the smartest at the end of the day?
Wow.
Yeah.
I just really liked doing the whole Purgatory Case Files in general because I felt like it was a really cool way to see Nicole doing her cop thing that we don't really have time to do on the show. So I just really liked doing the interactive stuff, especially getting to do voiceover work and getting to do the FaceTime stuff with Dom. I mean, I just thought it was fun. I thought it was really cool that we could provide this kind of second screen experience, and obviously you guys really loved it. I really loved seeing, again, the same thing about the theories and how involved people got with it, and yeah, I thought it was great. We know Nicole's a pretty smart cookie, so I think it was not surprising that she figured that out at the end. Yeah.
Thank you.
Excellent. All right, next one.
Hey guys, thanks so much for being here. Congrats on season 3. I'm over here. Sorry, very
It's God.
So in season 2, we met Gooverly, we met Wynonna, we even met Gukado. And so
Triple goo.
my question to you guys is, yeah, follow along, you got it. What do you think the other characters would be like under influence of goo? In particular, Kat, I'd really like to know what you think about Officer Hot, goo version.
The goo version.
Yeah.
Emily, you want to go first?
No. I want to know what goo dolls looks like and goo octopus.
Guacamole. Maybe that's what she whips out instead of a rat smoothie. It's like some sort of guac. Oh man, I'm so not as clever as like. I think a goo Nicole would be really interesting because I think she might be one of the last people you suspect to have that evil in her. So I think it would be a really fun aspect of her to see.
What would dolls be like?
Dolls be like?
Less boring.
He's not boring. He's.
Are you taking your shirt off too? Is this what's going on right now?
Tim, nobody wants that.
Excellent. Okay, right there in the middle.
Tim, what would you be like if you touched the goo?
I honestly feel like Doc's been goo touched. He kind of already lives in that gray area anyway. He kind of flirts with darkness more than the other characters already. So I honestly would love to see stick up his butt and Officer Hot and touch the goo.
Nobody's talking about my butt, Tim.
Well.
Excellent. All right, cool.
It feels like when you said it all together like that, yes, there was a lot of goo, okay? There was a lot of goo this year, but it was fun.
Cool. Are we all ready for the next one then?
Yes,
We'll go
we're
down the
ready.
middle then. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, guys, love the show.
Thank you.
My question is for Timothy Rozon. How different was it going from playing Massimo in Lost Girl and being just a generally hated pain in the ass to playing one of the best incarnations of Doc Holliday I've seen on film.
See what you did there. You cut me down at first, and then you brought me up. I really like you and the banana behind you.
You're amazing.
Yeah, it was super funny. Last year I got to do one of a Lost Girl convention called Fables, where I met some of you wonderful people. And I was so nervous going into there because I knew how much everybody hated Massimo. And then the most comforting thing of all was when I saw in line, I saw Waverly's, and I saw Officer Hots, and I saw Bobo's, and I just knew, okay, I'm gonna be safe because all the Earpers, there's Earpers here, and like the Earpers are gonna save me from all the people who hate me because I killed Hale. But everybody needs to know that it's all Emily Andras' fault. And it all like everything comes full circle back to Emily. So, you know, right there, directed that way. And thank you.
Thank you.
Why is the banana there?
This is the best thing ever.
Banana with a fanny
Can we
pack.
please have just like a bit of an idea of how this banana costume came about? Because my dad used to have a business called Mighty Banana, and that was like having flashbacks to my childhood right now.
It came about last year. That's when I first dressed up as the banana, and I couldn't decide what to dress up as, and I was like, you know what? I just feel like picking something random that doesn't belong to anything and then just interacting with people.
Yeah.
Dude, you can never go wrong with a banana
It's
costume.
really the it's really the fanny pack that takes it to the next level. I feel like.
The best part about the fanny pack is I actually borrowed my mom's like old Velcro wallet.
Whoa, old school. Okay.
And so I feel like I'm really embracing the whole like nerdy, ridiculous concept.
That's amazing.
I've always wanted to dress up as a blade of grass. So like all green, like bright green leotard, and then like gel my hair up into a point. And everyone would be like, what? And I'm like, oh, a blade of grass. Isn't it obvious? So next year I will. We'll be there together.
Okay.
Maybe you could be the flower that comes on the side of my blade of grass. Sorry,
Episode
random.
304 of Wynonna Earp.
Yeah,
You're a
exactly.
blade of grass.
Oh shit, Emily's here. That's bad, isn't it?
Over there then?
Who's
How
up?
will the baby play
Wait,
in?
the banana didn't get to ask her question.
We're saving the banana.
Oh, okay.
Okay, go. Yes,
How
sorry.
will Wynonna's baby play in season 3? And will Crowley rise from his grave?
Sorry, say that
Am
again.
I-
Something I heard Wynonna's baby. That's all I heard.
How will Wynonna's baby play out in season 3?
How will Wynonna's baby play out in season 3? Oh God, you guys, season 3's coming. I gotta get going. I feel like the baby will always be a presence and is something worth fighting for, right? Like now we have a very concrete, that's not the word I'm looking for, like definitive kind of stakes of why we have to break the Earp curse, because if Wynonna doesn't break it, this little Alice Michelle is gonna have to break it. But the baby went off on a helicopter, so I don't think the baby is going to be a physical presence necessarily in season 3, or is it? I don't know, we'll see, I don't know. Exactly how you want it to play out.
All right, banana.
Banana, you're up.
Okay, so I was wondering for everyone, what do you want to see happen with your specific characters or with the cast overall in season 3?
Yeah, what do you want to happen? Nice one, Banana.
Well, I want to know what's going on with my mom. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I feel like that's going to be really interesting, and it will be interesting to see how that plays out with Mel and Emily. I'm so excited.
Good.
But yeah, anyone else want to jump in on that? 'Cause,
I'm interested to see how Doc is going to live with the fact of kind of facing mortality for the first time. It's been 150 years, 52, 138 years. It's been a while that he was in the well. And for the
Such an
first time
actor
ever,
lying about his age. Yeah.
he's no longer ageless. So I'm curious to see how he deals with that, because I don't think he'll deal with it super great. I feel like he might be wimpy.
Just in the same way that Tim Rozon deals with it in the script, when he's like, oh my god, I'm gonna die, Emily's gonna kill me.
And I did die, and she did kill me. So the fears, they come from a good place, a real place.
You guys have all died.
Yeah, I mean, technically.
Don't
Kill
be
us.
shocked. What? You blew up in a barn.
Yeah. Good times.
The dolls woke up in a body bag.
Huh? Oh yeah.
What's going on with Dolls and Nicole? Let's talk about that. What was that weird look at the end?
Yeah.
Honestly, who wants to see more dragon lizard dolls? I think personally, I want to go like maybe full nude until the dragon dolls, you know, full green, full fire, full everything. So I think it'd be interesting to have like a whole episode of dolls like fully committed as lizard dolls. I think that'd be fun.
Oh, that would be cool.
Frost Dragon would be good. They don't do that on any other shows.
Yeah, exactly. We can totally afford
It won't be so boring.
I think I'd like to see, we were talking about it earlier, like, what's Nicole's deal with knowing about the cult? I think that's a really interesting, because I thought Nicole had a really solid relationship with her parents. It was just the vibe that I got. And then when we found out in episode 8-ish, around there, that she doesn't speak to her parents, that was a really big thing for me, where I was like, oh, this is she's different than I thought her past might have been. So I'd like to see if the cult has anything to do with her past.
She ran away, she joined the cult.
Yeah.
Itself.
Yeah.
It's a pretty sweet service there.
Could be. Yes. These are all very good ideas.
All right, thank you, Banana.
Thank you, Banana.
All right.
Any other fruit
Any other fruit?
want to weigh in? Yeah.
Hi, I'm sorry, I'm not a fruit.
That's
My name is Anne, and my question is for Emily. It seems like a really difficult part of your job would be, and I can kind of see it on your face a couple questions ago, how do you make the really difficult decision about who to tell what, like what information to dole out to who and when?
Like as far as these beautiful people?
Yeah, at work.
Can they hear me or are they looking at me? Well, the truth is, like, sometimes I just don't know. Is that a good thing to admit in front of a room full of diverse people? I really trust these guys. I've never had a cast like that, and I hope they know. They can't tell you otherwise because we're in public right now. But I hope they know if they really felt like they wanted to know something about where their character is going, they could come and ask me. And we always have a plan for this season, but plans always change, right? I think it's really good as a writer to have a plan so you can sleep at night, but you need to see what is happening on screen, what the gifts you're being given, right? If somebody's really good at comedy, you need to accommodate that in their character. If a relationship doesn't have any chemistry, even if you were writing to that, maybe you should be brave and kind of move away from that, if you can within the context. The only thing I don't want to do with actors is I don't want them to project something that's going to happen that hasn't happened yet. And I would never ever doubt it of these guys because they're all so strong, they wouldn't have this problem. But if you know a relationship's gonna break up, for example, 3 episodes from now, it might be harder for an actor to commit to the romance on screen. TV is just so crazy, it's so frantic. It's less about making choices to tell people and just trying to keep up, to be totally honest. But we do have a plan every year, I promise. Sometimes it's not getting pregnant, but sometimes that happens to people because of the stuff. Yeah. We're learning a lot today, Yeah. Thank you.
Hi, my question is for Miss Dominique.
Hello.
Hi. Waverly obviously always looks adorable in the show, so I was just wondering if you had ever had an outfit that you felt like really strongly about, like you either loved it or you hated it, and do you know where your costume department shops?
So we need to talk because I am exactly in the same boat as you. I love all of the costumes. I actually stole all of the costumes and nearly wore one here to DragonCon and then realized at last minute I was like, oh no, this is something that I wore in the show. People are going to think I'm cosplaying myself, and that might be awkward. Yeah, I absolutely love it. One of my favourite parts of playing Waverley is that I get to go and wear the best costumes. No offense, guys. And we have a really fun session where our amazing wardrobe woman, Jennifer, she is incredible. She sources the most amazing outfits, puts together things that you never would have done, and it looks amazing. So it's all down to her, really, and I just get to be a Barbie doll and just, yeah, play.
Did you keep your pink boots, the velvet ones?
Do you think I can walk in those, Kat? Like, I literally can. I was like, okay, every time a week, you remember, I had a pair of Uggs next to me the entire time. I didn't want to be like,
every girl, when we shot the hockey game, every girl, there was a whole bunch of background performers, and they were all like teenagers. Every girl came up to me and was like, I love your boots. Where'd you get your boots?
Yeah, it's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, back up here.
Hi, this question is for Emily Andras, and I wanted to know, were you aware of the unkillable gay trope when you started working on this? And do you have that in mind when you're writing? Because from all the queer fans, thank you.
You're welcome. I did not think the unkillable gay thing was the trope. I thought the trope was the other thing. No, I was very aware of barrier gays because of my work on Lost Girl. I was very lucky, I feel like, that I was aware of that trope. And we certainly have a lot of fun and adventure playing with those kind of expectations on this show. I think I just like to defy expectations in general, to be honest. I think with all my characters about who's going to survive and who's going to be a hero and who has resources we maybe don't expect. So I think some of hopefully subverting what I hope are some cliches in writing come from that desire to just say, fuck it, and try something else. So thank you so much for watching, and I'm glad you like it. Yeah.
In the middle.
Hey guys. First of all, big fan, everything you do with your faces, great stuff. My question is for Emily, who, by the way, I did bring that Spice World DVD for you to sign.
Oh my God, amazing.
There's been a lot going on from season 1 to season 2 with time travel and 9 months that pass when everyone's asleep, and then it unpasses. So my question is, from the season premiere of season 1 to the end of season 2, how much time has passed?
Dude, this smells like math. This smells like math. I was told there would be no math. I'd read my contract. I'm a writer. The perfect amount of time that you think has passed. You're so smart, and I've always said this about you, that all your instincts are right, and God bless the Spice Girls. I cannot wait to sign that DVD. I know someone who can sing the entirety of the Spice Girls catalog, so... one thing that's kind of funny about the show, I will tell you, is we film in winter, so I feel like we kind of have to keep it perpetual winter in Purgatory. So that's going to be a really fun challenge in season 3. I look forward very much to figuring out how that works. Yeah, I think 1 and 2 happen right together. I didn't answer the question. Go, go. Spice World. Woo! Thank you. Thanks for bringing it.
Hi, my question's for Emily. It seems to me that your job is super difficult. You've got all these people next to you that are like a family, it seems like, and you really
but they're
enjoy
so
working
hard to
with
look
them.
at, but yes. Okay. Yes.
You've got that on one hand, and then you've got the fan pressure for certain storylines on another. How do you balance those two things and tell the story that you're supposed to tell rather than one you feel like you have to?
Right, that's a great question. And everyone else is going to answer it as well. I don't know if you guys know this about me. I'm fairly active on social media when I'm supposed to be doing other things. Even Tim Rozon was like, do you think you maybe need to stop tweeting? And I was like, I don't, actually. But,
never stop.
Oh, thanks. I know it's always so weird when you like meet real life people and you said a lot of stuff on Twitter at 4 a.m. and you're like, hey, everybody. I love the fandom, obviously, and we've said this so many times, but I think this show has been built on the fandom, really. I've never had a show that was built on you guys, so thank you so much. I can't thank you enough. And now more than ever that really counts. I'm certainly aware of like feelings in the fandom about what things they like and they don't. The truth is, and this is a controversial thing to say, social media is still a small part of the fandom. Like if we have 50,000 Wynonna Earp fans, we have an audience of 1 million. So I think like people on social media don't represent the entire fandom, but certainly a huge part of it. I'm aware of like likes and dislikes in general, but I've said this so many times. Like now that we're going into writing season 3, I won't be on social media as much, she said famously. And except when I have a deadline, and then I'll be on constantly. But I've always said like, I can drive the bus, and you can get on the bus, you can be drunk on the bus, you can be laughing at the cheerleading on the bus, and you can be yelling at me when I'm driving, but you can't grab the wheel of the bus. You can get off the bus, but if we all try to drive the bus, we're gonna crash. So I'm gonna try to tell you a satisfying story, but probably not in the way you expect. Is that enough? Okay.
That was amazing.
And now I wanna hear how the rest of the cast deals with social media. Go. Do you guys find it hard with the pressure on social media? You're like, what are you doing?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've definitely felt like when you know, I mean, this happened this year a little bit, we've talked about this, where you know that fans aren't gonna like certain storylines or certain aspects of things. And what's hard is, and this is so good with the Earper fan base, and it hasn't happened very much, but it does happen when you have someone personally attacking your personal life choices.
Oh yeah, I hate
and
that.
the fact that I'm not really Nicole, secret's out. I think sometimes it's hard because you want people to be super invested, and you like that's a huge part of our fan base is how invested people are. But at the same time, it's so much of it is not our decision, and so that's hard sometimes when you know things will upset people, and you have to just kind of play it out. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I concur.
Does everyone concur? Cool.
We concur.
Great, okay.
Okay, good. Nailed it.
One
Okay.
try.
Yeah, exactly.
Excellent. So we'll come back.
Oh, okay.
Hi, this is actually for Dom and Kat. On the secrets thing, you know, Nicole's made the promise, you know, no more secrets, and Dom, what's going to happen when Waverly finds out that Nicole has been lying again, and how is Nicole going to deal with it?
I feel like it's gonna be hard for Waverly because her sister's been lying about her mom, and then you're in a cult. Is this what we're talking about? Or am I completely on the wrong track? Did I just totally start on a different conversation?
I feel like those guys at the end of the table have secrets too that they don't even know about yet, that are gonna be really good and delicious. Yeah.
Is that a good answer?
Yes.
Okay, good. Sorry, I just suddenly had like a freak
I mean,
out.
but who knows? I mean, we don't know that Nicole's in a cult at all. Like,
Yeah,
that
we
could
don't.
totally not be the case.
We don't even know that it's a secret. We don't even know that Waverly doesn't already know.
Ooh, fun.
Sorry. I bought us some time.
Maybe we're both in the cult and we go there on weekends just for like...
Just to get away.
Maybe it's a sexy lesbian cult. So
Yeah, it's so hard to say. The thing that Emily does so well is surprise us all. Like, just when you think you've worked it out, I'm sure it's the same for you guys. It's like, I got this, and then no, not even slightly. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing
And just really, we trust Emily a lot. I mean, we really do, and I know we've talked about this before, but I don't ever worry about Nicole. Like, I know whatever shows up on the page is going to be the right decision.
That's so nice. Thanks, Kat.
Excellent.
You guys all heard that for season 3, right? So whatever happens, it's like a legally binding contract. Thank you, Kat.
All right, we'll go on to the next question.
Thank you.
Hi guys, comment before a question. My comment is, I think I was fairly recent Earper of probably like April, May, and I just wanted to thank you guys because I think it was amazing.
Thank you.
I don't think I've ever seen a show where the cast is amazing and as well as the fandom being amazing. Like the fandom is incredible, opening, and so are you guys as well. My question is, it's a little bit unrelated to Wynonna Earp, but Kat, you kind of answered this for me a little bit earlier, but my question is, what's kind of one piece of life advice that you would give to everybody given that you have had your own individual journeys?
I was really trying to work out whether you're from England, so I was like, is she or is she? Are you from England?
Yeah, London.
Oh, hi. Nice to meet you. We should just go for coffee and chat because I miss it so much. Cool. Yeah, advice. I think that's what you were asking.
A piece of life advice from everybody. A piece of life advice.
My God, pressure's on. You know, I think that taking risks is really important. I think that we were just back there, Kat and I, and just were like, oh my God, how has this become our life? Like, this is incredible, it's so cool. And I've said it before, but like, I feel like Emily took a risk on bringing a little British girl over to play Waverley, and that was a bit of a crazy decision. Too late now. And so, yeah, that just started me off on a kind of a thought of like, oh, if you take risks, like generally speaking, they pay off. And when I came to Canada, like just putting myself out there, had to meet new people. So even just like walking up to people in random places and being like, you look really cool, can I be your friend? And like some of them say no, but that's okay because some of them say yes. And that was like, I don't know, I've learned a lot about growing up and how important it is to just put yourself out there because more often than not, you get like an amazing response. So, I don't know, was that kind of okay?
Yeah, it's good.
Maybe?
That's good.
Shamier, what's your life
Also
advice?
eat greens.
What's your life advice? Come on, boys.
I would say, you know, people always sometimes look for the pot of gold at the end of a rainbow, but you should remember that you're looking at a rainbow. Just to be present in the good times. Like, I'm super aware that this is an awesome time in my life. But there's something about being aware of that fact. Because sometimes you could be going through the good parts of life and just take it for granted, and then when you hit the lows, you're just like, well, everything's against me, and you think that sometimes life is so bad and unmanageable, but that's because you didn't really pay attention when things were great also. So I'm super aware how awesome all of this is.
I guess mine would be is just kind of accepting your flaws, you know, and being different, you know, because especially in these politically charged times, there's a lot of people that are being deemed, you know, not right or, you know, not the norm. So I tell everybody here to embrace all your flaws, your differences, your quirks, you know, all the other weird things that, you know, quirks, excuse me, you know, all the little things that you may think is odd or weird, or if you look different, not the same skin color as somebody, you know, if you're gay, lesbian, LGBT, whatever you want, you know, it's just whatever you think is best, just keep going for it, that's it. That's my advice. Don't be like the rest.
I think I told you to travel. That's one of my regrets. I know that's not like as deep, but I agree with everything everyone said, but I really feel like traveling can kind of change your perspective on life and really shake things up, and that's one of my regrets, is I didn't travel, and it does get a little harder as you get more embedded with life and responsibilities, and I think that, and it doesn't have to be somewhere far or super exotic, but I think just getting yourself outside of your comfort zone, even if that's what traveling means. I think it's because there's so many pieces of yourself that you don't even know exist unless you're forced into some situation where you're maybe not comfortable, you're not familiar with it. So I think it's super valuable.
Mine is a little bit more philosophical than theirs. Don't bother shaving your legs with shaving cream, just use hair conditioner. If it's good enough, guys, like, I'm telling you, it's so much smoother. That's like, I have a friend who's a stripper. It's the best thing I ever learned in my whole life. So just throw it out. It's a scam. So that's the most important life tip I can give you, especially dudes and women. It's fine, I'm just saying. So, yeah. It's good, yeah.
We've learned a lot today.
We've learned a lot today. We've learned how babies are made.
We'll go on down.
Hi everyone, Tim, I love your shirt, thank you for wearing it.
I think everyone in this room would agree that the Earper fandom is unlike anything anywhere else. And I was just wondering what your families think about it, and do they get it? Like, is it something that anyone can wrap their heads around?
That's a great question.
Guys, my mother is here, not in the room right now, but she'll be here tomorrow in cosplay. And I don't think she gets it until tomorrow. No, it's pretty amazing. It's hard to explain to families, I think, until they see it, which is why it was really important for me that she came, to just witness the energy and the love. And I think it's a very, as Tim said, it's a really special time in our lives, and I wanted them to kind of get that on a deeper level of how lucky and how blessed I've been. So look out for Hot Mama.
Yes, my mum and dad both watch the show and are very, very proud of me. Though my mum is French-Canadian and she doesn't understand the American accent because she learned English in England, so she understands British accents, but she doesn't understand American accents. So I'm pretty sure she maybe gets like 5% of it, but she really loves it, so that's pretty cool. And my dad is just so proud of the feminist aspect of the show and the difference that, that Emily wrote it, but also my part in the Way Hot relationship and representing the LGBT community. So that's really awesome, and I'm, it's nice to have Daddy proud of that. It's cool.
My grandmother is very upset with most of the things Doc does. So, Grandma always called me, why did Doc not be there? And I said, listen, Grandma, I try. It's not up to me.
My family, they're all immigrants from Jamaica, so the fact that me being on TV is a whole thing they're wrapping their head around, that's one. And two, all my cousins and uncles were full of family of guys, and they all love Wynonna. And I remember when my cousins met Melanie, man, they text me all the time. They think she's so hot. All my Jamaican uncles.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, my mom is like 4'11" and loves it. She'll like break down the variety ratings and everything. She's totally into it. She loves it. She loves The Boys. When she met Shamier and Tim on set, she just about died. And my dad loves it too. My in-laws are funny. Like they're very blue collar. My partner is a writer as well, but they still don't totally know what I do, and it's gotten so it's too weird now to ask. They're like, do you fix TVs? They're like, don't the actors make up their own lines? And like, sometimes they say like, it's not too late to just be a kindergarten teacher, you're really good with kids. And I'm like, oh, that'd be fun too, so. But everyone's really supportive. So, thanks, great question.
Excellent.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to move over here now.
Hi guys, love the show. Emily, you were saying earlier that some of your cast members might have some extra hidden depths.
They all do.
Well, might Calamity Jane be a shapeshifter?
I don't know. Tim was the only one at the table who worked with the actual cat, but that cat was good. That cat was like the Meryl Streep of cats. As soon as my favorite thing is like, TV's so hard and it's so grueling, but sometimes you have a day where you're like, it's the day we're casting Nicole Hott's cat. It's the funnest day, and like you meet someone whose whole job is to be like a cat wrangler for TV, and you're like, how did you get that job? It's so crazy, and she takes it very seriously, and sure, maybe. I feel like anyone on the show could be a shapeshifter if we get enough seasons. Just,
Good, thank you.
So, Tim, you touched a little bit on this earlier, that Doc is going to have to deal with his mortality. but also Doc went to hell. And when he comes back, we could discuss why he went to hell. It could have been because of his actions. It could have been because of the contract that he signed to BBD that sold his soul. In that case, Waverly, Wynonna, and Jeremy are also shit out of luck.
Nicole's fine.
Yep, best decision she ever made. But anyhow, he's alive now. He knows that he's mortal, and that if something doesn't change, he's going to hell. So we don't know what season 3 is going to be like, but you know Doc. How do you think he's feeling like? Do you think he's going to try to change something? Do you think he's going to go off the deep end? How do you feel that his reaction is going to be?
Yes, 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 and yes. Yeah. I mean, I was trying to figure it out. I don't know if he was immortal or ageless or exactly what the ring did exactly. I think he could have still died, but he was ageless, so that's kind of like not dying. A bit. But yes, I think this is going to worry on him very much so. And I think of all the characters, he's going to deal with it probably the most irresponsibly and selfishly, and he does not want to go back to hell, or maybe he's ready for hell. I don't know. It could be. There's a flip side to the coin. You know, maybe being around for 150 years, after a while, hey man, maybe you've had enough. So maybe the one thing that he never could have was death. So maybe he's ready for that. I know he does have a baby now that he probably doesn't want to walk away from, but he does have that baby with someone who doesn't love him. So I don't know.
Loves you. Speculation.
Not in the same way. It's an unrequited love, which is sometimes the best love.
Presumption.
I disagree.
Fight.
Are you kidding me? Have you seen the way she looks at you? It's like, ugh.
Yeah, but have you seen the way she looks at dolls?
Yeah. So, okay.
He is a dragon, too, so...
Great question. I think whatever he could do to either get it back or embrace it, he's going to be horrible at all of it.
Sounds like fun to watch, though, to me.
So, thank you. All right,
Thank you.
So I've actually got another question for Tim. How much work do you put into your mustache? Because I'm seriously jealous of that. I cannot grow that. Just kidding.
Dogstash loved that question, so thank you. Obviously, I've already started, so it takes about 4.5 months of pure dedication. But look, Shamier started too, so we're gonna have double stashes next year. Spoiler alert.
I would love that, actually, so I like the facial hair on Shamier, too.
What about a mustache on Jeremy?
Don't tell Maria that.
Oh my
Guys,
God.
if we don't push for it now.
Thank you. We have another one over here.
Hi, I'm a musician, and I'm a huge fan of all the music that has been picked for the show. It's just really, really great. So I'm going to kind of ask a random music-themed question. If you could do any song for karaoke, what song would you do? That's for everybody.
As ourselves?
Yeah.
Yes. What's your karaoke song?
That's the character.
You guys don't have a standard karaoke song?
Son of a Preacher Man, Dusty Springfield is my go-to.
Mine is Mama Said Knock You Out. It's a solid crowd pleaser. You're gonna be fine with that one, so even if you can't sing, you like me, so.
Mine is Before He Cheats.
Oh, good
All my like suppressed anger.
Nice. It's Carrie Underwood.
That's when she takes the
Don't
baseball
judge
bat to his car.
Yeah, it is good.
Louisville Sluggers.
Yeah.
You know that well.
Ain't No Sunshine, Bill Withers.
Why you sing that? I love it when Tim sings. It's the cutest thing ever. Also, when he does an Australian accent, just so you know, he's really good at it.
You're a horrible person. It's so hard, that accent. What accent is that?
Can I just tell them really quickly what happened? So Tim had an audition. He was like, Dom, like you gotta gotta do an Australian accent for my audition. And he was like, can you listen to it for me? Just to see what it's like see if you like it. And then he starts doing it in makeup and I couldn't. I'm so kind always, but I just laughed so hard. Bless his heart. And then we started practicing all the time and do it, and he'd do his lines. It was the cutest thing ever. He's really good at it.
They asked you what your favorite song was for the
I told the story, right? Yeah, sorry about horrible humor. Go on.
Shamier, what's your karaoke song? Help
on the
us.
Bobby, Mind Distracted, Walkabout with the Rippers. It's impossible. It doesn't make sense.
What's your karaoke song?
My favorite karaoke, or go-to I should say, is 1,000 Miles Vanessa Carlton.
Nice. That's smooth. That's smooth. Yeah.
I need you, and I miss you, and now I want. That's it. You get me drunk, and maybe, just maybe.
You do know where you are, right? That's a warning.
Yeah.
One of the things that as I've come to discover with the show is that there's been a fantastic, I'm not going to say softening necessarily, with Dawes especially. You were such a hard ass the first season, and then you've just become, again, it's hard to call you a softie because you breathe fire. That's intimidating. But how much of that has you feel like has been much more of a release for you? You're not necessarily, I'm just gruff, black badge. It seems like you're having a little bit more fun now, unleashed. Are you looking forward to more of that as your character progresses down?
Yeah, great question, thanks.
Yeah.
Being able to, have colors in this part is so incredible, especially from the beginning of the season and seeing the progression of dolls. And it really gives us something to look at and look forward to watch, because if you're watching for the first time, the first season into the second season, you get to see dolls in different light, and as an actor, it's so incredible that Emily gives me the opportunity to explore different characteristics of dolls and also physicalities from turning into a dragon lizard, from being possessed. It's a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to season 3 and really maybe having this beer, or, really warming up a little
Singing some
more.
Vanessa Carlton.
Yeah, doing some Vanessa Carlton. Maybe dolls will break out a dance move, who knows?
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot of fun, and I look forward to reading it every day, and it just gives me something to work at. And in my real life, as you can tell, I smile every 2 seconds. But maybe I could do some more of that season 3. But I really, really, really love the progression, and the fans, you guys really love dolls from day one up to this point. So you guys are the real troopers for sticking up with him and sticking to him. Thank you.
Thank you. I've got a weird off-the-wall question for Tim. This is one thing that perplexed me as someone watching the show. Doc's discovering technology is kind of a charming thing. You as a person, what would be the best piece of modern technology that Doc Holliday would discover? Well, he's just gonna lose his mind. He was like, you guys have had this and I've been in a well? Why have you been holding out on me here?
Spas. I don't know why Doc's just not getting spas, manicures, pampered, full body massages, sea salt baths, all that stuff. Bubbles.
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah, I just feel like
Just pampering, just general pampering.
pampered, yeah. He's not well set. He's been in a well for 150 years.
I don't know anything about history.
150 years with nothing. Rocks, high rock. He had rock B. He had rock C. I had Rocky George. No rock Dom, that's for sure.
I thought you meant a discovery, that he would not know about spas.
Correct.
Oh, well, I didn't answer the question.
Yeah,
no.
Oh, what was the question?
I mean, the fact that Doc...
An iPhone or like a...
Yeah. Like some kind of modern technology, because there's the whole phone thing. What else is out there in the world that, like, when Doc gets to discover the world, it's now expanded to him.
Well, I mean,
spas are a great answer. I love spas.
I don't know why I went to spas. Probably elevators are pretty freaky.
Yeah.
So trying to explain that to Doc, I don't think he'd get in there.
No.
Raise that idea too quickly.
Fair enough.
Yeah, especially going down. Now you've got me going to hell and everything. Thanks.
A little too close to hell.
Episode 1, season 3. Docs in an elevator going to hell. Starting with 3 mustaches.
Another thing that, as one noticed, the widows were just a force to be reckoned with there in the second season, and I really just love the performances. But there's one thing that it's obviously very intentional, was the costume design, the evolution of that costume. There was a moment where I'm like, wait, hold on, it's just expanding before she becomes the White Widow.
Yeah.
How much of that was like, before like going into the character, like, all right, this is the evolution of the widows going into it?
Right, I think costume, thank you. I think that was Danny Kind and Megan Heffern, who were amazing as the widows. Yeah, they were incredible. And I just personally love the way Widow Mercedes and Widow Beth were so different, and I thought the characterization of the 2 widows were so different. Yeah, honestly, God bless Danny for being in that thing. Like, it had the hugest bustle, and as it went on, it like got more and more rotted and matted and dirty. And the truth is, like, Danny literally got cast as Mercedes, and then we were like, P.S. Your face is gonna be falling off and you're in this giant bustle. And she was like, okay. So costuming was a huge part of it, and the intricacies on the costume are amazing. I'd love to bring them to a Comic-Con sometime just to show what the wardrobe department did. Like, just the coolest things too. Like, there's all this, I feel like maybe American Horror Stories did some of this, but like, there was this trend in Victorian England to make like jewelry out of like baby teeth and dead people's teeth and hair. So they had like all these lockets made of hair and like rings that were literally teeth, and our wardrobe department like sourced it all. It was super creepy and cool. Yeah,
perfectly appropriate.
it was. It was really cool. So the detail that went into it, I thought was just amazing.
Yeah, you mentioned the Dominique's costume as well. Like just the detail in general, from comfort to design, it's just fantastic.
Yeah, it's really good.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, we are at the end of our panel. It looks like we are at waiting for it. Yeah, we're at the half hour. So I want to, on behalf of DragonCon, thank you all for attending. We're going to be with them a lot over the weekend. They're running crazy.
Don't get sick of us yet.
Yeah, just so don't. And we're going to expect to see Shamier at karaoke maybe.
We'll try to bring light on it.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
It's here for Andras. It's a thing.
Thanks, guys.